All right. Hey guys, it's how long has it been since my last upload? You know what? I'm gonna check real quick because nothing's ready yet. My webcam has actually stopped working. So I couldn't I couldn't show my face even if I wanted to. It's showing signs of life, but it's not actually being recognized by OBS, the number one or regular stream platform, I suppose. Alright, so let's see here. My last upload was 3 months ago, and I'm amazed it got nearly 150 views, which is incredible to me. I notice. Wait a second. Elapsed time negative a minute. Is that right? Well, um, three doesn't matter, does it? Does it? Um, technically, this terraria. So I figured I'm going to do just masochist mode, but I am going to have content mods such as um what's it called? Content mods such as Calamity and Thorium enabled as well. It's a supreme mod pack. Now then, I thought about making the most difficult, and I mean the most difficult mod pack possible. And by enabling every difficulty modifier offered by every mod that I had in the list, it was that. I mean, I had things like Revengeance, Death Mode, Masochist Mode, or now Eternity Mode. I had Awaken Mode and a few others. The Defiled Rune, Anti-Buff. It was very interesting. For starters, Slimes had a whopping 2,000 HP, and I had a Blood Moon on my first night. I'm not sure if that was intentional in the slightest, but I do need to whittle my mods list a little bit because of the fact that I do have so many mods. I've had the game crash on me by reloading my mods per se. Alright. Wow. I played a lot of this game as of late. Something recently, so despite the fact that I play a lot of video games, I don't actually have 1,000 hours in any of my games, which is kind of interesting. What just happened there? Error occurred loading Spirit mod. Apparently, I updated my game a little too much. Continue? Well, there's one more that's going away. Alright. Now then, one last thing to do. We're gonna go throw my stream URL out to a few places. But to start, so of course Fargo's Soul mod and Fargo's Mutant mod are required. Calamity mod is also required. Too many accessories, which is just to make things more so possible. It's a relatively hefty crafting price in order to use the most of this mod. It's not that I can just instantly connect as much stuff as I want. It is progression based, so I won't be able to use my entire inventory until I'm after Moonlord, but I will be able to use some of it. I'm willing to change that based on opinions. More Auras is a mod that adds, well, aura items, so things that move around the player and deal contact damage. However, I will be disabling that for the sake of resource saving. The Halfborn mod, it turns you into a demon or such when you reach half HP. Quite entertaining. It's a very cool concept, but I didn't have much to do with it. Especially, I need to stop saying and so much. Legendaries Plus I will be disabling as well. Actually, no, I will not, because of what it does for me, which I don't know off the top of my head. Alchemist NPC, I always use the full version instead of the light version, and that's just me. I like the items it gives me. I don't always use them, and sometimes they're not even useful, especially with things like Calamity, where I can get more damage. Thorium mod, Omni Swing. Which mod is this from? Fargo's loot bonus. I will use this, typically set to 2 to 5 times, depends on what I'm doing. Especially useful for boss item farming. Begone Evil, disable biome spread. I do that for my own sanity because I almost always have the corruption or crimson, depending on my world type, right on my doorstep every time. It's so annoying. Mod helpers, which I don't even know what it does, but it's a dependency. Fargo's Fallen Stars, which makes stars fall faster. The bags mod, which gives me items out of a loot bag system, which works with Calamity mod and is not required by Calamity mod, but it requires Calamity mod. Fargo's Banner Boost, which makes the banners more useful instead of a measly, 15% increase defense and damage. It can eventually reach a full 100% damage reduction from any attack from these creatures. Fargo's Equipable Inventory, which is like the one I mentioned previously, except this one doesn't have a crafting recipe or items. Elements Awoken, Flight Timer, Elements Awoken Music, because I enjoy listening to music. First Try, which I will disable. Actually, there's... no, I will leave it enabled. It's another little crutch. It'll save me money, but that's about it. Calamity Mod Music, of course. Boss Checklist, Recipe Browser, iframe Counter, Louis AFK, IMK Sushis. Although, will I keep Louis AFK? Hold on a second. I can make infinite ammo out of everything, which is kind of what I really like it for, and the money collector. Okay, never mind, I will keep it. A death counter mod, because what masochist mode is gone without it. The Calamity Convergence mod. Summoners Association, which I don't really need because I'm not a summoner. Crescent. Calamity add-on. The Shapeshifter. I will actually disable the Shapeshifter. IMK Sushi's mod. Full health respawn. Craftable Route of Discord. Life Fruits. No More Tombs. Invincible NPCs. Yet another boss health bar. Directional Melee. Craftable Wall of Flesh emblems, statue mobs give drops, loot bags, mana unbound, Calamity vanilla buff, campfire buffs, faster tools, brighter torches, vein miner, no favorite tool tips, regen from bosses, town NPC checklist, Calamity mod extra music, Calamity yo-yo bag buffed, which I will actually won't use. I was planning on doing ranger. I'll leave it on if I need to switch. I guess I will because of how masochist or eternity mode I'm sorry works. Any questions, feel free to ask me. I love to answer questions and talk with the audience, and I can only talk to myself for so long, and once I start playing I will probably drop off the face of the earth unless you guys are messaging me. So, you know, give me a little message every now and then, ask me a question. As a matter of fact, I've got a question for you. What is your favorite type of soda? Let me know with a little comment. I'm noticing my stream health has stayed pretty well the entirety of these 6 minutes, which is also good. I turned up my bit rate by about 2,000 kilobits extra. Lands Simple Mouse Highlight, which is that nice blue ring you see on my screen. No, I will not get rid of it. Unlimited buff slots means that I won't, when I get to the late game of Fargo's mod, I won't have infinite just, crunching sounds. And then Boss Cursor. I decided to get rid of the Yo-Yo's mod, which I am normally so fond of. Alright, now then, speak now or forever hold your peace. I am going to send some messages on Discord and other platforms alerting people that I'm online. And when I come back, I will tell you about the hardest, the hardest game. It's not copy pasting, question mark? Oh, did I not actually copy the link? Might not have. Oh well. Boom. Alright, we're gonna put this into the streaming section on this here server. It's a little difficult to get here. We're gonna throw that onto the streaming room. Oh, there's no streaming room on that server actually. We're gonna throw it into the main lobby. Click. Oh, I forgot to update the thumbnail. I might have to fix. I might have to fix that. Hold on. Oh, hello. Hello to Eric Bergen Fitness. How are you? We're gonna make a quick thumbnail. Who wants to watch me make a thumbnail? If you don't want to, I can just not, I guess, simply put. Spread the word that I'm streaming, why don't you? Alright, currently trying to get a... Actually, you know what? I'll deal with the thumbnail at the end, like a professional streamer, right? Put that link right there. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will do death mode. So I did a playthrough of Masochist death mode, and I already proved it was possible. That was before they updated it. Now then, when I say they updated it, I mean a few different things, and I couldn't tell you the entire list personally. I'm not smart enough. I don't know. I'd have to look over the entire list personally. And it is a very large list. So, including of course like some like rebalancing. Now then, that's not really the biggest problem here, the rebalancing that is. But the idea of behind it along the lines of how would I describe it? Bosses HP get increased so much that it becomes impossible. I think that's a good word for it. And then we're just gonna... Is this... Which chat room would I put this in? You know what? We're just gonna leave it at that. Now then, it did take a minute longer than I wanted to. My apologies. So, real quick before I do start the actual gameplay, of course. So what I did was I enabled Fargo's Soul Mod's difficulty modifier, which is called Eternity Mode, Calamity Mod's Death Mode, Revengeance Mode, Ironheart, and a few others. I also had Buff Insanity, which would give me a random buff or debuff every 10 seconds, lasting 10 seconds with a cooldown of 1 second in between. Then I also had the Player Instant Kill mod, which meant any damage would kill me instantly. Sounds wonderful. I might do it eventually. Customizable Defense effectively made my defense worthless, or I could also change it to be 100% effective all the time. But I'm not looking for the easy way out, not by a long shot. Fargo's Hyper Mode makes everything move at about double to triple speed. I don't remember, including attack animation, speed, and other patterns, making certain enemies that have to go through an animation before they can damage you a lot more deadly. Constant Violent Screen Shake just made it so I couldn't mine anything or see anything. Other things include thorium mods. I don't remember which one that was. the difficulty modifier from it, that is. Elements Awoken, it had the Awoken mod, and then after that, I think that might have been the entire list for, oh, Masochist Mode EX, which would make the trees kill me, and a bunch of other things. It made Eternity mod, which, the Eternity mode, which was formerly known as Masochist Mode, basically impossible. I also had Early Hard mode and Spirit mod, and I had Enigma mod on, followed by the Lunatic, which made it the world on a timer. This timer was about 1 week in-game time, so about 70 minutes of playtime. I'm trying to think if there was anything else, but I can't think of anything. Of course, I also had all of the mods that I currently have on as well. I would instantly die every time I'd see a slime, just a little itty-bitty slime, which is interesting to think of. Now then, without a further moment, Alex Jones is the name of my character, and I named this world the Confederate States Corrupted. I've got a little bit of a start on it, and let me tell you just a little bit of what I've done so far. Ooh, look at that lag. I should have probably removed a couple extra mods. That's weird. I thought I turned off that mod. Okay, you know what? It's worth saving and reloading for how much performance it will save me. Okay, so as I said, I was going to turn off the More Auras mod. Wherever... Oh, I need to reload. That's probably what it is then, isn't it? Is there anything else that I wanted to unload that I didn't already? A quick scan never hurts no one, except maybe you guys if you seem to be in a hurry. And then we reload. Alright, and just like that, who knows how much... I mean, I assume I didn't actually change too much, but it'll give me peace of mind, I suppose. So far, nothing from the peanut gallery? No. Alright, and then we start the world again. Oh, I just realized without the spirit mod, I should probably remake the world or something like that, which is a shame because I do have 434 items already. 861 of them being unloaded. Interesting. Oh boy. Spirit mod. Ooh, yeah, let's go check that biome real quick. Alright, so there was... Oh yeah, it's definitely been removed. Ooh, look at all the missing textures. Everything highlighted in the pink is something that doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because the mod that they originated from, Spirit mod, is not compatible with the current version of Tmod Loader. I didn't even know I updated it. So, you know what? It's time to make a new world. Should I make a new character as well? I mean, I don't exactly want to. I've made plenty of progress. Especially when it comes to vanilla bosses. The vanilla bosses are going to be the #1 challenge, the ones from Calamity being #2. That is, the ones that aren't, because, alright, so we're gonna make a new character. Alright, I want to hear from the chat, who should I make this character after? You guys got, like, 2 minutes, I suppose, 2 minutes, give me a suggestion. And in those 2 minutes, I'm going to, send a few messages out to other servers and see if I can get anyone's attention. Nothing yet. Alright, I think my timer has passed. I don't see anything yet. Now then, because I don't see anything, I suppose I will have to make a... call it random? I noticed that it still says Terraria is open, question mark. It's definitely not. But that's no matter to me. As a matter of fact, I think it saves me a bit of hair. Not really. Let's get rid of that window in the background. One less thing. It's prick. I didn't mean to do that. No, I'm all over the place. Alright. So then, with this being said, we are going to do one more thing in our mods list. We could turn... oh, challenge runes. That's another thing I had in my super difficult mod. Alright, so we're going to go back. We're going to go to single player. We're going to make a new character. I already put 6 hours in. I didn't even realize it. Alright. Alright. I need a random number generator. And here it will be on my screen, which I don't even know if you'll be able to see. I guess not, since it looks like Terraria has taken over. Random number. Alright, so for the first roll, it'll be a max of 3, representing, of course, the 3 difficulties. Softcore being 1, medium core being 2, and hardcore being 3. Softcore means you drop coins on death, medium core means you drop your items on death, and hardcore means you die permanently. Softcore it is. On our first roll, we did get number 1. I've got to check my OBS. Do I really have a Terraria? I do have a Terraria dedicated window. I didn't even know it. Wait a second, then how the heck did my display capture ever show up? And I mean ever. Whatever, doesn't matter. Alright, so our first matter of business is taken care of. We are running softcore, which is good for me because, I mean, like, I don't want to make a new character every time, and I'm not trying to do like a hardcore expert. I'm trying to do a hardcore modded one, and it's much more difficult. And also, I'm not that good at Terraria anyways. I will likely die to each boss multiple times. And that's why I have the kill counter. Alright, let's make ourselves a random name generator. Now, any input on which type of name to use? Name generator. Let's look at fantasy names for a minute. Why don't we? Let's see here. Character names. Ooh. How many examples would you like to generate? Let's make ourselves a full 100 male character. Character's title. Interesting. I saw the word king in there. Flavor, human, zombie, vampire, witcher, wizard. I guess human. What type of character? Great leader, virtuous. We'll do great leader. Doesn't matter what year he was born, especially since there isn't exactly this form of backstory. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Write me some character names. King Alfonso Dunkeld, King Hank Stewart, King Neil Stewart, Adolfo Plangenet, interesting. I don't think this is giving me the right vibes. What is striking me? What is striking you? Any inputs? I'm still hoping. I'm trying to think of recent video game characters. Name a video game character, maybe. What type of character is that person? You know, describe it to me. Maybe it's your Dark Souls character. As a matter of fact, I for some reason have a real fun time doing political people such as Ben Shapiro. He was a ranger as well for Masochist. Was it Death Mode? Masochist Death Mode? Was that Ben Shapiro? Good question. I don't know the answer to that myself. I should. As the creator. But it's is what it is. We're going to look up.
Hi, Dallas.
What is going on?
Oh,
And what is that pellet spin?
Dallas.
Dallas?
Dallas?
Dallas.
This shotgun
Dallas.
shit.
that was loud.
Maru's face, I
Yo,
freaking blasted
yo.
and she didn't.
What a bother. If only I could mute certain, what's the word? Not people, but certain programs from the capture. Welcome. I need a name. I need another name for my character. As Alex Jones has certain mods that aren't, compatible. I was thinking I would just go to my name generator tool since I haven't had any input. Alright, on our wonderful list we have Warrer, God of Spring. Let's hear Amdor, God of Time. Nice, I like that. Kudsol, God of Obscurity. Pretty. Odor, God of the Sun. Ooh, Gilios, God of Judgment. That is pretty good. Adolf Swift. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna keep on with Gulios because that's pretty good. Alright, when I hear the name, I think of a character, God of Judgment. Now, Judgment. A nice silver color should do, don't you think? A silver hair. Make it nice and shiny. Change the hairstyle. Something like that should do. Looking like Ace Attorney. Oop, and there we go. That's the name. Ace Attorney. Let's see here. Phoenix Wright, or whatever his name is. Got black hair. Blue eyes, if I remember correctly. I don't actually play the games. Bozo the Clown. I could do Clown Cosmetic. Nice of you to join me. Oh, trust me, I will get good. Alright, we're gonna change the skin color to a nice, lovely, dead inside kind of bluish green. You know, looking like a zombie over here. The amount of deaths you're gonna see me streaming this. It's gonna get there. We're gonna change our style and give us the nice skull on our shirt. I'm pretty sure this is the outfit. Shade of yellow, undershirt. That's the wrong one. The actual shirt is what I was looking to change. Oh, is this the wrong style? That's the style I was looking for. Perfect. That looks pretty good. Alright, so we have Bozo the Clown, we have Tadolf Swiftler, and then we have, what was it? I had Gulios, spelled Guhlios. Any other suggestions in the next 30 seconds or so? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 options currently, and I can just use a number generator. Of course, assuming that no one voices their opinion. Take a vote, I suppose. Nothing going on in the chat yet. Number generator it is. Alright, so we have number 1, number 2, and number 3 are number generations. What was that? Which one? Okay. Random number generator between 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. We have Bozo the Clown, Eric Bergen Fitness. There we go. And now we have our new character. I just gotta find him out of this mess of characters I have. There we go. And then after that, we have ourselves a new world to make. Now then. Expert difficulty, of course. Corruption or Crimson? Let's roll the random number generator between 1 and 2, shall we? His name is Bozo the Clown. Full name. Alright, random number generator between 1 and 2. Corruption or Crimson? Crimson is blood red. Corruption is a nice shade of purple. Corruption being the first option, Crimson being the second option. Any opinions on the chat, from the chat, on if it should be Corrupt or Crimson World? Some of the exclusive bosses to the Corruption actually include the Hive Mind and the Eater of Worlds. To the Crimson is the Perforator Hive and the Brain of Cthulhu, as well as the nice color palette and different tunnel systems that come with it. Some different drops such as Ichor and versus Corrupt Flames, the debuffs associated with the biome. Crimson from Ethan. 1 vote for Crimson. We've got 30 seconds, let's say, on the timer before I close the voting system. Which isn't really a voting system, it's just me watching the timer. Alright, and it looks like that would be about it, and we've got 1 vote from Ethan Gibson for Crimson. Alright, now we just need a world name. Any suggestions for the world name? Bozo the Clown, where would Bozo the Clown go? That's the question I've got for you guys in the audience. I cannot believe I've made 31 minutes of stream of me basically on this screen. Name me a circus. What would the circus that Bozo is part of be called? You for watching from your homes, I'd assume, anyways, in this wonderful, cannot say or else I lose monetization. Any names yet? Alright, let's get a name generator going then. We've waited long enough. Place name generator. Let's throw out some circus name generators. I mean, alright, let me give you guys some ideas. Circus Bliss, Circus Sunrise, Circus Imaginarium, Miss Oham's Hippodrome Wanderlust, the Hypnotic Circus, Planet Circus, the Blue Moon Circus, Countess Townsend Humple Hippodrome. Oh boy, I do like the Blue Moon Circus idea. I'm gonna copy that and just keep a hold of that. Let's get a few more. The Regal Circus, Duchess Foreman Spectacular Circus, Circus Jumbo, Circus Rebus. The Regal Circus, the Sunshine Big Top. Any of these sparking a note? The Merry Circus, Fortiana Big Top, Infinity Hippodrome, Wonder Circus, Miss Montgomery Circus Angelica, Hypno Circus, Nirvana Circus. There's Planet Circus again. I'm fully equipped to just go with the Blue Moon Circus. I still haven't heard any opinions from the chat, though, so I think I will go with the Blue Moon Circus since nothing has been input yet. Now then, we've just got a little bit of world generation to do. Now then, with all these mods and all the interesting little biomes, there's a lot more for it to do. It will take a minute. Now then, that leaves me with one more question. I would like you, the people at home, to make this vote. What modifiers should I turn on? I mean, all of them isn't exactly plausible, but for example, my Masochist Death mode, or would be now Eternity Death, or Eternal Death. Ooh, Eternal Death mode. That is a nice ring. Now then, Eternal Death mode, it would be a mix between Revengeance, Death mode, and of course Eternity mode from the Calamity mods and Masochist, or not Masochist, Mutant mod, respectively, made by Fargo and the devs of Calamity. I don't know their names. It's a big project compared to Fargo's. I could also turn on, say, Thorium's mods. I'm not mods, modifiers, or maybe not Spirit mod. That one's been turned off. I'm pretty sure that one doesn't work anymore. I would love to just turn on. I could do Ironheart. I could do anti-buff. Few other things I could think of, I suppose. I could give you a better list as I cut down some trees in our new world. Alright. Where is my wonderful new world? The Blue Moon Circus, the Crimson World. Where is it? It should be second or... I just favored it, didn't I? Oh, I didn't just accidentally delete blue. Oh no, there it is. I thought I just managed to delete it. Let's just bump that up the list so that I can still find it. Alright, Blue Moon Circus. Let's begin now, shall we? Alright, so a few of the modifier items we have potentially to use. And let me just highlight them right here in the center of my inventory, alright? And then one last one, which I've got to go pick up over here. Alright, so we have the Mutant's Gift, which turns on and off Eternity mode, which used to be known by Masochist mode. Most people will recognize most people will recognize it that way. We also have Revengeance mode, which is required before I can turn on things like Death mode, Ironheart, or the Defiled Room. little list of things that it does. It adds an adrenaline and rage system, which increase my damage by insane amount every time I use it. All enemies get a new damage reduction stat, which can be reduced by applying various debuffs, such as Ichor. Let's see here. Other things that I can do with it, of course, are just make the AI more difficult, such as by having more health, or, I guess, less health. Get out of here, you blue slime. We're not dealing with that yet. By turning this on, it would also increase their HP, damage, and spawn. There's a few debuffs that can be applied. Hello, Bubble Wab. Nice of you to join us. I've got a question for you here in the audience. And that question lies in, what modifiers should I turn on for this run? I know the thumbnail currently advertises Masochist and Death Mode, but I'm not sure if I'm up for the challenge, unless of course I have someone who wants me to take this challenge. Another one that's worth thinking of is the anti-buff mode, which makes me immune to all beneficial buffs, not debuffs. So I won't be able to use regeneration, iron skin. I will still be able to have Ichor and such. Void Blood disables all natural regeneration, interestingly enough. We have the Defiled Rune, which makes wings useless, and fall damage is almost always critical. But it does increase item drops. Oh, and it also makes me critically hit. Or at least potentially I can be critically hit. I haven't said anything. Death mode further extremes the... It's Theo. Oh, hi, Theo. Remember, Theo, you're not supposed to say that stuff online, okay? And protect your identity out there, buddy. Have you played Terraria before? That's pretty cool. What is your favorite part of Terraria? I'll just give you a minute to finish typing. I'll continue building this house. You haven't gotten that far into it? I suppose it is difficult to have an opinion. The title screen? That's kind of funny. You should ask Ian, since he is listening in, on which modifiers he should turn on, or I should turn on rather. Well, Ian, while I still have your attention, I have Masochist or Eternity mode, Revengeance, Death mode, Ironheart, Void Blood, Anti-Buff, Defiled Rune, and Eternia or Awaken mode. Now then, some of them aren't exactly compatible, but if you tell me one or two of them that you'd like to see toggled on, I might be able to make that work. And if you want more details, feel free to ask me. I'm here to help and entertain, I suppose. Nothing yet. I'll continue, just finish off my house, and we'll get back to it. It's dinner time. Gotcha. I will look forward to that message. Thank you very much for stopping by. Tell me what you have for dinner when you come back, I suppose. I suppose it is a time-sensitive question, such as the Ironheart mode cannot be activated if any boss has been killed. But I probably won't use that one because that is in permadeath feature, and I'm trying to make a series out of this. We also have the Defiled Rune. Wing flight is disabled and enemies can critically hit you. I'd like to get my first house done before I stop streaming today, at about an hour or so time frame. Ooh, what class should I play? Let me give you guys a brief down, and I will go over it a couple more times, as necessary. We have melee, which would also encompass the yo-yo class, which is just a little stricter, I suppose. We have the magic class, and that would of course entail basically anything that uses mana. It is by far the most overpowered in the late game, as it does have infinite range and typically infinite piercing. It can affect as many enemies. Of course, that's not to say that these ones aren't just as difficult. For example, the Nucleus, which does 1,200 melee damage, of course in the melee category, and also has Atomic Decay, which will guarantee a kill. The ranged class, which is what Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro were, and I am a big fan of the ranged class, and sorted by damage. Welcome, Bit Beginnings. Everything's going good right now. I'm just wondering what class I should play on this Terraria playthrough, and for the matter, how difficult should I make this? The thumbnail advertises Masochist Death Mode, which is a little different. It's more like Eternal Death Mode. They changed the name of the modifier. And then I also need to know what class I should go with. Especially seeing as there's so many extra options with what I currently have. I'm good for whatever. I'm just looking for a little bit of input. You know, get the community going. Or at least try to. Sometimes it doesn't work. Wouldn't have a clue. Well, I can tell you a little bit about each of them. And for the matter, everyone who's watching. Now then, Mutant's Gift, which is the first item I have hovered over right here, would turn on Eternity mod, which makes enemies severely more difficult. For example, all enemies will regenerate health if you don't deal damage within 7 seconds. Not unmanageable, but it does change things, of course. They also inflict a smattering of debuffs anytime they hit you, or just for existing. For example, if I turn it on real quick, I will now receive a debuff for walking into the water, which decreases my weapon use speed quite noticeably. I'll turn it off for now. I'm just building my house. Revengeance and Death Mode would go hand in hand. Revengeance has a lot of changes. Feel free to pause the stream and read this over. Most notably, Adrenaline and Rage Mode, which increase my damage output significantly. quite useful, quite entertaining. Of course, it does balance itself out by making it so that if you're not using these changes, it's significantly more difficult. Another thing that it does offer is, let's see here. We have Void Blood Heart, which turns off natural regen. Anti-buff, which makes me immune to all positive and beneficial deep buffs and such as things like regeneration potion, or maybe Ichor, which breaks armor. Just generally common sense things. If it's something you'd want to have, it probably exists. Ooh, is that a pinky slime? Oh, gotta kill that. I'm gonna use my bow because that way it's less likely to touch me. There are enemies inside my house. I certainly was a little further along playing Alex Jones. And of course, it doesn't matter which version of the game which modifier I turn on. I've played and can play all of them. However, to turn on multiple, that's where the challenge lies, and where my previous thumbnail comes from, of Masochist Death Mode. I can also link a full wiki page about all the changes. Oh, I'm out of arrows. Certainly got me, but it's the first night. I should have put a little more effort into finishing my house. Didn't mean to do that. Please put that back. I wanted to put a little hole right here so that enemies can't get inside. There we go. Now that's a good door. Even though it just kinda doesn't do much. Let's see here. While it's nighttime and it's just difficult to see in general, I may as well continue what I'm talking about, shall I? Ooh, let's put the chest up in this room. Yeah, now that's nice. Put all that gold in there. Awaken mode, which increases enemies' HP, defense, and damage, and changes the AI. We have the anti-buff. I've already mentioned that one. The Defiled Rune, which makes wings useless, and enemies can critically hit you, which in this game is quite an interesting combo, given the fact that certain enemies do 300 damage base at critical, and it would easily be well over 900, which dwarfs your max HP, at least by vanilla standards. And now that I've mentioned all these things a few times, well, it's a shame you can't watch long. I'm glad to see you stop by. Make sure you spread awareness, all the Discord servers you're in. Help get this going, you know? And if you want the same of me when I'm watching, don't forget to ask. I'd love to help. Now then, I think I might go ahead and pull the trump card and turn on Eternity mode, Revengeance mode, Death mode, all at the same time. Now that leaves me one final question, which I suppose I will handle in the next stream. And that's the question of, if I increase the difficulty further, there's only one thing that I won't do, which is called the Defiled Rune, not the Defiled Rune, the Iron Heart, which makes me permanently die should a boss kill me. However, to remove my wings and be critically hit, to lose all possible buffs, to lose all healing, to increase the enemy's difficulty and potentially make myself weaker. However, when I start turning all those things on, I mean, this thing really, it becomes a problem of AI compatibility, so I suppose that one will have to go. It is no longer an option. But just I suppose I'll just let you guys think about it. This has been a 50-minute stream on April 5th of Terraria Masochist Death Mode again. But this time, there may be a twist. That is, of course, for you to decide. Leave a comment. I mean, you sure can while the stream is off, and I'll go over them. My last Masochist Death Mode video managed to reach a nice 150 views, which triples my subscriber count. And speaking of subscribing, this was pretty slow, but it will pick up. Feel free to subscribe, and I will continue to take every suggestion you guys have. Thanks so much for watching. One last thing for me to do, though, before I go. I need to choose a class. Now then, there are 1, 2, this is a subset of number 1 though, so I will probably class it as the same. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also part of 5, 6, and 7. Although I will likely discount this one as it does not keep up at all for a single player game. If I was running multiplayer, it would be viable. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 options, okay? Of my 6 options, I'm going to assign them each, of course, to a random number generator. Between 1 and 6, of course. 1, of course, so again, number 1 is melee, 2 is mage, 3 is ranger, 4 is rogue, 5 is summoner, and where'd it go? And then 6 is bard. Now then, I don't think bard, actually, I will have to reduce it down to 5 because the fact that it does not have post-Moonlord content with calamity mods and such, I am limited down to 5 because rogue does go all the way to the final boss, and so does melee, and mage, and ranger. As a matter of fact, ranger, I'd say mage probably goes the best to the end. I mean, you wouldn't know based on looking at this, but I mean, the last prison, despite only doing 83 damage, puts out a DPS of about 300,000. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we have 5 classes. We rolled 3. Number 3 is Ranger. Wow. It's interesting to think because that's what I was planning on doing. I mean, not like, unless of course this rolled random, but like in my personal playthrough that I'd been about to start and then decided to stream instead. So we're gonna go with the Ranger class. Now then, let me tell you, in these last few minutes of the hour, of a few things that you can look forward to. I will, of course, likely use both bows and arrows, unless the community voices its opinion on one or the other. I will not use certain weapons from specific mods, mostly due to how they scale. For example, the highest damage would be from Calamity Mod. Now, Calamity Mod scales well, but a little bit before that, there it is, the Quantum Destabler. This, an entity destabilizing beam, which deals extremely high damage. It might say it only does 629 damage, but the energy cells that it fires, I bet, do a lot more. I don't mean to be in caps lock all the time. It's just a bad habit when I play games. Energy cell. It only does 1 ranged damage. Interesting. Maybe it isn't as broken as I thought. I could be totally wrong. Who knows? But it will go fairly smoothly, I would think. I have lots to look forward to from many mods, and I have a grand achievement to reach at the end. The possibly most overpowered item that there ever will be. The soul of the universe. Now, if I ever reach this point, it could be a miracle. The amount of items that go into this item, the endless list of effects, it'll only be possible with Masochist mode on, or Eternity. It's gonna take a while for me to break that habit. It'll only be possible with it on. And that's not even the most overpowered thing. It's just, let's say, a goal. There's all sorts of stuff we can look forward to before I reach the end of this game. Death mode is on. Now then, for the next stream, which should be later this week, I'm gonna have to figure out a good time since school actually is starting back up. Not physical school, but digital school, of course. I will have to decide if I stay with these difficulty modifiers, if I stay with this one class, which I will have to change classes a little bit for Moonlord. Moonlord itself is, how would I describe it? He prevents solo classing, so I will have to balance my building a little bit, just a tiny bit. But with everything said and done, we'll fine-tune this. With your guys' opinions, of course. I don't mean to leave you guys out. I hope that this is enjoyable for you. Maybe I should go back to my previous title. I've proved to myself, granted not to you guys, that eternal death mode, as it is now known, is possible. I mean, of course, up to the Moonlord point. That's where Masochist mode stops affecting Eternity mode. Ugh. I think they should have stayed with the same name. But that's just my opinion. I hope you guys are having a great day. Or evening, depending on where you're at. I thank everyone who stopped by the stream. And I hope that you guys do come back. Have a great day. We'll look forward to eternal death later.